Okay, I'm here to talk about some of the things I've done for the project so far. One of the things have been doing was working on the prototype report. This is the version history for the first prototype report. Go back. As you can see, I wrote the description for it, as well as the questions. I didn't do the answers, but based on the answers from playtesters, I then worked with the rest team to develop any changes that needed to be made based on findings from there. Let's see. I also wrote the second prototype report. You can see the different times I've worked on it and spent time on that with Fez and Pablo. We're starting at the bottom, but we have an assets section where some of these screenshots I've got myself by going in Engine, and then some of them are provided by the level designers. Similar to the first prototype, I wrote the questions, but then the answers were from the playtesters, and I then used those answers to map out different changes that are going to need to be made. Right. So that is that. Also listed the features and fleshed out the description more, since now we have more stuff in this prototype than the last prototype, because we had more time to work on it. Another thing I've been spending a lot of time on is the GDD and ASG. Including, I added, so you can see here the various times I've worked on it. And if we go back, some things I've been doing is I added a hyperlinked table of contents, so I can click on a section and it'll go to it. I've been updating the specifications in the summary a lot, since there has been a lot of changes and some cutbacks we need to make, as well as some things like adding score, timer. Another area I've been working on is, that's another thing. I decided to have things that are completed be green and things that are in progress be yellow, to kind of give some visual indicator of the progress we have made. I also looked into getting some reference images so we know how to size things, about what size they should be, as well as some reference images for stuff like the tutorial court, which, if we open the tutorial, is inspired by a squash court. Now, this isn't the most recent build. I was having some issues with GitHub, but as we can see, the most recent one does have a ceiling and walls and some targets. So yes, that's just some of what I've been doing, and yeah.